I'm Matt Plapp,
I'm Shawn Walchef.
and this is Own Their
Phones.
I'm Shawn. No, I'm not Shawn. I'm Matt Plapp. You're Shawn Walchef.
I'm Shawn Walchef. I could be Matt Plapp for a day.
I'd like to be Shawn. I'd be crushing that. What was that? The jalapeno sauce I had at your place? Jalapeno barbecue.
That's
that
it.
Was
Jalapeno
so good,
barbecue
bro.
sauce. That's good
So
stuff.
good.
Yes.
That's got to be one of the top 5 barbecue sauces I've ever had.
I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from a man that's visited as many restaurants as you have.
And it's great on ribs on the Big Green Egg.
That's right. That's right. I've tasted those amazing ribs on the Big Green Egg. Fortunate.
So today in the podcast, by the way, this is Own Their Phones. I'm Matt Plapp. That's Shawn. He's a restaurant owner. I'm a restaurant marketer. Together, we are working together to bring the results that we're getting for his restaurant, but also tackle topics that every restaurant needs to talk about in this podcast, which is unique to me because typically my podcasts are me and other, interviewing people. This one's like, hey, we're doing this together and we're going to find out what works and what doesn't work and go from there.
It's awesome.
So I want to talk about the sign. What's the number one sign you see most places around the country hanging outside of restaurants' windows right now?
Now hiring.
And I want to tell a story about my journey on this. And I know obviously mine's a little different than a restaurant, but there's a series of, I'll make these, my computer thought I said, the other word. So I want to share my screen here and I want to open up something because this is wild. I saw this and I can't take credit for it. There we go. Can you see my desktop now?
You can see it.
Okay, so I'm going to open up my downloads because I've got a series of pictures this guy shared on Twitter, it was wild to watch and just see his tweets. So you can see these, right? These pictures, okay? So this is from 1894. With all the mines of the country shut down by strikes, what will the poor editor do for coal next winter? It is becoming apparent that nobody wants to work in these hard times. Here's 1905. Nobody wants to work. Women don't want to make butter anymore. Do you know where prices would go if we raised more calves and the pigs and made more butter? They would go down. 1920. What is the cause of unemployment and hard times? The manufacturer and businessmen say it's because nobody wants to work. Let's see here. What does this one talk about? But the trouble is everybody is on relief or pension. Nobody wants to work anymore. So you kind of see the crux of everything here. Same thing here. I can't believe the bad luck I've had in trying to find someone to do some needed home improvements. It almost seems like nobody wants to work anymore. That's from 2006. And so moral of the story is that our country, we can find our screen I'm on here, our country since the 1800s, and probably going back earlier than that, every time something happens in the economy, the excuse we throw out is nobody wants to work. That's why nobody wants to come work for the business. And I got all this from Jason Pfeiffer, who's the editor-in-chief of Entrepreneur Magazine.
Yep.
Him and I actually did a podcast on it. I don't know if you saw his. He did a podcast the other day. I told him it wasn't a podcast. It's like a documentary of words. Yep. But he walked through all of those quotes. And it wasn't that nobody wants to work. It's that nobody wants to do what's being put in front of them at that time.
Correct.
And I would argue it's the same thing with every business. So like mine, for example, 2018, never forget it. I needed to hire 2 people. I make a Facebook. I put a LinkedIn post, Facebook post. Like, hey, I've got all these Facebook friends. I've got these followers. They always engage in my stuff. They donate to the charity stuff that I do. For sure, people are going to flock to this job opportunity. You know how many people I had apply for that job?
Zero
goose egg. And it was depressing. I'm like, shit, I thought I was awesome. Like, what's going on? And it took me a couple years to realize, but that was in the middle of when everything Matt Plapp put online was how great Matt Plapp was, how great our results were, how great we were at helping restaurants. It was the Matt Plapp show. And I had a consultant that I hired. I started following and taking advice from in like 2019. He's like, dude, watch Gary Vee. Okay, Gary Vee rarely talks about Gary Vee. He talks about ideas and he gives and he interviews people. He's not on there talking about like the results of VaynerMedia.
Yep.
And so I took a different tact and I got even more aggressive in video, and I stopped talking about my dumbass. And I started having just conversations. Well, it's been 3 to 4 years since that transition. Now, if you follow me on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube Shorts, you'll see content all day long, every day. And the majority of it's not me. It's just storytelling. It's interviews. It's having fun. Like I had an episode that came out yesterday called "What the Hell Do You Do Here?" where I walked over to Lisa in the conference room and said, "Hey, tell me what you do here." And so we're doing things differently. Well, I bring this up because 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, I made a Facebook post. I did an email to about 270 people, which out of 20,000 plus list, I went into this list and I went to the people who clicked a lot. And I said, this is either my mom and my dad or some people who like what we do. And then I made a Facebook post on America's Best Restaurants on my brand page. And then I shared it to my personal page. And what happened was up until a couple of days ago, 54 not even resumes, 54 people filled out the form because I don't do resumes. I just asked 3 questions. And what amazed me.
What are the 3 questions?
What are the 3 questions? Let me look and see. That's a good question. Let me go to my email. I guess I should have that queued up in my head, but for some reason, I know what the first one is. What's your favorite color?
Okay.
Let's see here. Let me pull my thing up here. Job application. I'll look at this person's application. So it's favorite color. I don't know why my email is loading so low. And then it is how will your past job experience help you excel in this position, whatever position they're applying for? What interests you about the restaurant industry? And I lied. There's 4. Why are you a great fit for this position? And so I do it a little different. And I do the color thing because I want to make sure that robots aren't answering the question. Because a lot of times there's bots out there that are just filling up your forms. And then also I want to see how many people suck up and say orange. And it's funny, the people that'll say, I know you want me to say orange, but orange isn't my favorite color. But if you force me to wear it because I get a great job at your company, I'll wear it. And so it helps me see personality.
Yep.
And it helps me see people that mail it in. But we had, of those 54 people, 40 people that I classified as qualified. And 30 of them that were like, man, I want to hire all 30 of these people. Now, we can't afford to hire all 30. I would go into some big deficits really quick. But I now have some people in the pipeline. Now, here's my question to you, Shawn. We know the content, but what's the reasoning for the massive difference in 0 resumes of 54 or applications in a couple years from content?
It's value. I mean, the worst thing that I hear, not just restaurant owners say, but business owners say, is the exact things that you showed me in those articles from 100 years ago, from 150 years ago. It's a mentality and it's an entitlement of business owners and entrepreneurs that people should just want to work at your shit job.
Yeah.
There's 7.6 billion people on the planet. If you're hiring for one position and you don't have a compelling mission, and you're the top, you're the restaurant owner, you're the business owner. If you're not excited about what gets you out of bed in the morning, why the fuck should anybody care?
Yeah.
Why should they care? It doesn't matter how the money doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What matters is the mission that you put somebody on, the worth, the things that you do to cultivate them and to make them a better human. Because how much time do we spend at work? So much time that we're spending at work.
Yep.
So it's our job as restaurant owners to provide a place that people are excited to do what we do best, which is hospitality.
Yep.
If you can't allow somebody to thrive with hospitality just because you have a hiring sign, you're just doing the wrong things.
Yeah. And for me, what it comes back to also is that what you and I both love using is video. And that if your social media is just telling the story of, your burritos, your food, your drink specials, come have lunch with us, and all, now we're hiring, there's nothing nurturing people. And the one thing I've seen on my end, and I've seen it on your end, is that the content about you over in Bulgaria isn't about Cali barbecue, but it's about Shawn and your life and the journey. And people watch because they don't do it themselves. And so they watch. Yeah. And when some reason comes along for them to engage with you, like in this case, a now hiring, And by the way, I don't know if you saw the now hiring post I had in there, like, must enjoy these nuts jokes.
I saw that.
Probably that's way too many. That's what she said. And I had a couple friends of mine who were kind of, I wouldn't call them prudes, but close. I'm like, why would you put that in there? I'm like, because I want to eliminate you. Because if you were to come work here, you would find out those are true. But I want to showcase personality. But one thing I found with me was that by me putting everything on display, I was nurturing these people all along. And that if restaurants were consistently doing it, they'd be nurturing them too.
The thing that you've found and that we found and that we hope people that are listening to this show is you have an energy. There's an energy at America's Best Restaurants. And the more that you tap into that energy through content, now you're showing versus telling. You're not telling someone this is your job. You're going to become the best digital marketer. We're going to teach you how to work with restaurant owners. No, you're showing people, dude, you get a front row seat to a media company that is in the infancy stages. Imagine what we're going to look like in 2 years, in 3 years, and your boots on the ground, talking to the best chefs, the best restaurant owners, the best entrepreneurs on the planet. And you're working with the top platforms. You're developing relationships with people at TikTok, people at LinkedIn, people at Twitter, people at Facebook, people at ManyChat. Like, those are the things that people, they see and they go, I want that. I want to do that. And back to what you said about Bulgaria, I post things about my life, the way that I tell restaurant owners and business owners, listen, everyone makes their own decisions. Gary Vee, he won't post anything about his kids. He won't post anything about his wife, about his new girlfriend. And that's totally fine. If that is you, that's fine.
He's got a new girlfriend with his wife.
He does, but that's for a different topic. That's for a different topic. But nonetheless, that's Gary Vee's decision. And that's his decision. My decision is, me personally, is I've always shared things about who I am, who my wife is, who my son is, who my grandfather is. I'm from Bulgaria. I shared videos about picking tomatoes in Bulgaria. And back to what you said, that has nothing to do with barbecue. Did I take a Weber grill over to Bulgaria and give it to my father-in-law and build it and make a story about it? Yes, I did that because that's barbecue. But ultimately, most of the stuff I was doing was just me being a city boy, going to a village and asking my in-laws, how do you pick tomatoes? How do you know which is ripe tomato to pick? How do you know what's a cucumber that's ripe to pick? How do you pull potatoes out of the ground? And by doing that, people see that content and then they go, well, Shawn cares about family. If he cares about family, then he's going to care about my family when I work for him.
And that's the big thing. I was telling a restaurant this the other day. I said, his argument was like, Matt, your analogy between your company and my company is so different. There's a lot of cool things in your business. I'm like, there's as many people that think working in a barbecue or pizza is as cool as media. Like, my kids think what I do is boring as shit. I guarantee if my son could go be a burritoologist someplace and make his own concoctions and have fun. I said, the problem you've got, if you look out there, and like, I'm in Florence, Kentucky, and I'd be willing to bet there's 1,000 jobs open in restaurants within 5 minutes of here.
For sure.
And there's probably, 1,000 people for them. But when every restaurant looks exactly the same, it does, like, people aren't clamoring. Like, they don't see, like, I posted a picture a couple weeks ago of me and Stacy. We went down and got matching Jordans. She had just started here. Like, I had friends of mine call me and go, dude, you're insane. Like, I've never seen somebody like go get matching Jordans. Like, what are you guys, 13 years old? He's like, but it was so cool. And so those are the things as a restaurant that if you showcase your personality, you show people having fun, people want to be a part of something. I had the interview with Guy Fieri a couple months ago where we talked about the value of storytelling. He goes, Matt, a song sounds different when you know the journey of the band. And just like
one of my favorite quotes.
Barbecue.
I literally bring you and Guy up multiple times all the time because it's such a good quote.
It's unbelievable. And I'm like, barbecue tastes different when I know that it supports Shawn and his family. And when I know that it supports these employees. And it's the same on the now hiring, that when you become a watched and consumed product, like you can via email or via video on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and LinkedIn and YouTube. I mean, none of those are charging you any money. And it's not hard to do a video like this on your phone and walk around your restaurant. You start to look a lot different than the other 100 places that are hiring. And if I'm a person wanting to go work at a restaurant, and I can go apply at 100 places, these 99 look exactly the same. This one looks pretty fun. That guy's funny as can be. Blah, blah, blah. you're going to have a lot more applications and a lot more people that aren't there for the dollar per hour. They're there for the entire environment.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, I'll take it, anybody that's listening, I'll take it one step further. It's the now hiring sign. What do most restaurant owners do? They literally put text on a Facebook post, now hiring. They go to Craigslist, now hiring. They put a static image on Instagram, now hiring.
Yep.
What if you got a sign, literally a cardboard sign from Staples, took a Sharpie and put now hiring, and you, as the restaurant owner, went on top of your restaurant and did a video holding the sign up, and it says now hiring. Now, all of a sudden, everyone that sees that Instagram post, number one, it's a video, so it's an Instagram reel, and it can go on TikTok, and it's a Facebook reel, and it's a YouTube short. But now everybody that sees it is going, instead of just scrolling, they're going to go, what's Jim doing on top of his restaurant?
Yeah.
What's Jim doing on the main road in the town? I literally take this sign. I've done this, taken my sign in the front of my road, and it looks ridiculous because no cars are in our village. Very infrequently do cars drive past our restaurant. We're not on a big thoroughfare. And when they do, they're driving really fast. So it's literally me holding a sign for one car in 30 seconds. And it looks ridiculous. It looks hilarious. But guess what? When people see that, they go, he's hiring. He's crazy. He looks like it could be fun. He's willing to do whatever it takes. I'm going to let my niece know. I'm going to let my nephew know. I'm going to let my son know, hey, you should apply at Cali Barbecue. And guess what? It works. Yep. I've done the same sign at the airport, at the San Diego airport.
I remember that one.
The sign in front of the airplane that's landing. We'll do whatever it takes to find the people that love hospitality, that love barbecue, that love media. And it's such an easy thing to do. It's just a different way to think about hiring.
Is it too extreme on my end to say that if you're a restaurant owner, if you're a small business owner, but I'll say restaurants because restaurants to me are sexy. Everybody loves food. Everybody loves entertainment. So I think restaurants are a very sexy environment. Like people ask me why we picked restaurants because I had multiple expertises I could have gone with our marketing company years ago. I picked restaurants because I think it's fun, it's inviting, it's exciting. That I wrote down when you were saying that if you're buying ads on Indeed and places like that for now hiring, to me, it shows a massive failure of marketing. The fact that you can't use Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube and Twitter that are free.
Well, go to the App Store.
That means you
what
haven't.
What are the most downloaded apps? Those are the ones.
Those social medias. And if you haven't used those correctly to market you, your brand, your team, and your story enough to excite people that if you post specific jobs for specific reasons on your own channels in unique ways, there's no reason you shouldn't get a damn people applying.
Absolutely.
I mean, my now hiring picture, actually, I didn't think about this. So just now the post I made was me and Stacy sitting there. I got to show you this. It's pretty funny. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's, you see it?
Let me see it.
Let me pull it up here. Matt Plapp, now hiring. I'm sure it'll come up in the Facebook. There it is. So let me share my screen. There we go. There it is.
Yeah,
so there's the now hiring. So it had me and Stacy with the J's at the van. Had my dad. He's got this. He calls it choking the chicken. If you're doing something wrong, he's got this chicken he chokes. He's got me in a story. Got the team.
Yep.
It didn't say now hiring in the pictures. Yes, it has now hiring as the headline, but it's like, I'm in need of an awesome rock star to join our team and client management. You're working one-to-one with restaurateurs, helping them understand the marketing efforts happening on our end, plus all these different perks. And then at the end, I put, and I'm plenty of other crap I'm probably forgetting. Long story short, if you're awesome and want to be around awesome people and get to help awesome restaurants, we want to talk to you. Qualifications, be marketing savvy, blah, blah, blah. And then the last two things, it's like too many D's nuts jokes in meetings. I mean, it's just is what it is. Sometimes you got to have fun. But I honestly think that from a standpoint that if you have all these free platforms that you can use to market your business, that if you have to go buy advertising for now hiring, then you've just failed to use social media correctly for the many years.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the crazy thing is you've already built a community. Like you've already built, if you own a restaurant, you're already in business. You have people that are coming into your restaurant. If they're coming into your restaurant because they love it, then wouldn't they want their kids or the people that they play little league with or the people that they go, like, why would they not want them to work for you?
Yep.
Like they should. And how do you tell them about that? You tell them by having a conversation about it. You know, one of the best restaurant owners that I follow on social is Mr. Tempo. Mr. Tempo owns so many different restaurants out here in Southern California. But what does he do? He does what every restaurant owner, what I've done my whole life, and that's always be recruiting.
Yeah.
You are always recruiting. Like we're always hiring. If you go to a place and you see somebody that's phenomenal at Walmart and they smile and they take care of you, you go, have you ever thought about working in a restaurant?
Yep.
My name's Shawn. I own Cali Barbecue. We have 3 restaurants. I think you would excel in the hospitality business. Plus, you'll make more money than you're working at here at Walmart.
Yep.
Why don't you come and check us out? If you can't sell your restaurant to work at, then what can you, like, what are you even open for?
And what I love about you is that when you're talking to that person, you're wearing your brand.
Always.
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 Like that's one of the modules in the membership program I'm building out right now is like wrapped vehicles, hats, shirts. You know, I got the MP ring, you know, the shoe. You should always be glaringly obvious. Look at that. It should always be glaringly obvious what your gang colors are, and yours are Cali BBQ, mine's MP and
my kids' whole daycare. They know we own a restaurant.
Yeah.
Why? Because my kids have Cali barbecue bottles. They literally just took toast bottles into the restaurant, into daycare. I got toast bottles from the Western Food Show.
That's awesome.
But literally everything that we do is Cali barbecue. People know that we own a barbecue restaurant, and that leads to conversations all the time. The same way that your branding leads to conversations.
Yep. Well, I love it. It's another episode in the books.
Tag us in your hiring videos so we can see it.
Yeah, so
I want to see you on top of your restaurant. Be safe though, please.
Yeah, be safe. Make sure your OSHA requirements. Yeah, if you're a restaurant, tag.
If you fall off the roof, Matt told you to do it, not Shawn.
Tag Shawn, tag Cali Barbecue, tag Matt Plapp. I want to see your unique.
If you fall off the roof, make sure you get a video of it and be safe.
There you go. There's another video. Hey, we're now hiring for my position because I'm hurt.
For my position because I'm off. I fell off.
Well, cool. Roof. Another episode in the books. Own their phones. Thanks, Shawn.
You got it.